well, weather time now, and as we heard earlier, we've certainly had plenty of weather to talk about of late, Ruth.
Yeah, it'd be very boring otherwise, wouldn't it, if we had
busy,
nothing to say. Keeps me in a job as well, so yes, very glad. But yes, it is autumn, John, which of course goes hand in hand with wind, rain and, well, Halloween. Now, maybe a little early in the month, granted, but preparations are already underway at Margam Park to make sure the spooky season well and truly sparkles. Louis Rhys-Jones went along to find out more. Lewis, thank you. I don't know about spooks, but the gremlins certainly playing havoc with our signal there. Yeah, it's early though, isn't it? It is early.
Yeah, it gets earlier and earlier, I think.
I know, and that you drive outside and there are houses with Halloween decorations.
I have seen a few.
And not outside my house, can I say, and anyway, Christmas decorations will be out next as well. So, yeah, the year's going so fast, isn't it? I don't know about you, but where is it disappearing to? And as I said a few minutes ago, it's autumn and the weather is very much doing as it should do at this time of the year. So whether we like it or not, wet and windy conditions are very much the order of things. And I think the problem's made worse, of course, because at the moment the trees are losing their leaves. So, of course, when we get wind and rain, it blocks drains and certainly doesn't help with the situation. So let's talk about wind and rain because there is more of both to come. Today has been just a brief break. We've had a little ridge of high pressure, some sunshine, but look at this. Tomorrow it's very messy. Not one but two frontal systems waiting in the wings. Saturday shaping up to be the better day of the weekend, and then it all goes horribly downhill again into Sunday. And when I say downhill, I really do mean it. So much so, in fact, that the Met Office has just issued a yellow weather warning. This covers much of northwest Wales, so we're talking about Anglesey and the Llŷn Peninsula for some very strong, potentially disruptive winds through Sunday and into the early hours of Monday. We'll keep you posted nearer the time. In the meantime, though, the next few days in a little more detail. 'Tis the season, though, John, and for extra fun, of course, next weekend, not this weekend, next weekend, the clocks go back. So there we go. You're
Extra
welcome.
hour in bed, though.
It is, yeah, that's one way of looking at it.
Yes.
Every cloud, as they say. Well, things are starting to settle down out there at the moment. Thankfully, the winds that have been brisk today already dropping back. We could see a few showers for a time, but it'll be a largely dry night. But I think as we wake to the early hours of tomorrow morning, we're likely to see some rather dense patches of mist and fog. So if you have got any early journeys to make, just be careful. It could be quite low visibility. Temperatures tonight dropping to around 4 or 5 degrees further inland. A little, perhaps less cold out towards coastal areas where you'll notice that breeze continuing. So for some, quite a grey and gloomy start to Friday morning. Breezy from the word go, but there'll be plenty of dry weather once that fog lifts and some decent spells of sunshine. But there is a band of heavy rain that will work its way eastwards during the course of the day. And as you can see, the winds will start to pick up the pace too. Despite all of this, temperatures not too bad, perhaps a few degrees down on today's values, highs of 15 or 16, which is actually where it should be at this time of the year. So that batch of wet weather will clear through into Friday afternoon, but there is another band of very heavy rain that will put quite a damper on any plans you may have for Friday night. But it will clear eastwards by the early hours of Saturday morning. So for the most part, Saturday, as I've been saying, is shaping up to be a pretty decent day. Wouldn't rule out the possibility of the odd shower, but generally speaking, nothing too troublesome. And certainly the better day of the weekend because there's a very deep area of low pressure, as I've been saying, waiting in the wings. And that is going to bring some very unsettled weather for Sunday. Heavy rain, which is not good news because we've had an awful lot of wet weather recently. But a yellow weather warning for strong winds for the northwest in particular, and we could have some issues with a travel disruption. Obviously, we'll keep you posted on this, though, a little nearer the time.